welcome. You're watching Business Today Television. I'm Sakshi Batra and with me is Shail Bhatnagar. Well, when we remember the kind of market moves that we have seen for the last 4 trading sessions, there have been some jitters in the equity indices. In fact, yesterday the benchmarks recorded their biggest fall in the last 14 sessions as well as they continue to decline for the 4th consecutive session. The May F&O series now comes to an end today. The last 4 days of losses have actually made the Nifty bulls almost take the index to the brink of turning negative for the series as well. From the all-time high level, the Nifty is now down 400 points from 23,110 that we had touched, and the Nifty Bank also underperformed yesterday after having stood tall for the previous 2 trading sessions. Now, as we move into this new trading session, stocks like Tata Steel, Bata, Cummins India, SJVN, NoSil, HOEC will be reacting to their earnings that they had reported after the market hours yesterday, and on what could be the final day of the earnings season, stocks like Apollo Hospitals, Gateway District Parks, Marksans Pharma, Muthoot Finance, these will be some of the stocks that will be reporting their earnings today. Warm welcome to all our viewers and good morning, Shail.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This wonderfully jittery, as Sakshi says, expiry draws to a close today. Nifty will end its F&O account in options and futures today. Let's just say, a couple of words about the Nifty and the markets. They're nervous, they're anxious, they're worried, and they're apprehensive. We are at the cusp of the biggest political and economic event, as also market-related event, which is the result of the general elections. Saturday is the last round of voting, ladies and gentlemen. Saturday 6 p.m. you'll see the exit polls in, and on Monday will be the first reaction of the market. The Tuesday you will have final earnings. So Monday and Tuesday are going to be extremely volatile for the market, and this week is no different. While we look at the fact that the Nifty has done pretty much nothing, if you look at the net number, it's up 0.8% for the month of May. The Bank Nifty is down 0.3%. But Sakshi, you and I know that this has been accompanied by a huge round of volatility. Between the high and the low of the Nifty, there is a distance of 1290 points. 21,821 was the low, and high, as the Sakshi pointed out, is 2310. So between that, the Nifty traversed 1290 points. The Bank Nifty has similarly done 2700 points between the peak of 49,710 and the low of 47,000. So that's the volatility, ladies and gentlemen. And as Sakshi rightly points out, a 400-point cut has happened in the last three trading sessions, from 23,110 to 22,700. Now let's see this Nifty chart, which is right there in front of you. The Qs are, how should I say, negative, and the trend of the Nifty for the next 2 days is down. Now what are these negative Qs? You have a very strong negative close on the Dow. Sakshi will give you the details, 400 points lower. The US 10-year yield, ladies and gentlemen, has started to surge back. You see it highest since May 2nd, and that's negative for global equities, in particular for the US and the Indian markets. The GIFT Nifty is again suggesting a 80-point downtick. So like we had a gap down yesterday, you will have a gap down today as well. Now, what has also happened in the negative? Remember, in our commentary at 3:15 p.m. yesterday, we had mentioned that foreign fund net sales number would be critical. Well, they have turned heavy sellers to the extent of 5,000 crore rupees. That is worrying again. The Nifty yesterday, the low of the Nifty actually tested the 10-day exponential moving average, and again that is worrisome. The low of Bank Nifty actually tested the 20 EMA. That's equally worrying. So these are the couple of things that we need to keep in mind for today. Again, tomorrow is the end of May for cash counters, which is the NAVs of mutual funds will be in focus, because the month of May has been phenomenal for cash counters. Now, what should you do? The gains that we saw were accompanied by very high volume. the losses don't have that kind of volume, but the volatility is very high. So if you are not an aggressive trader, my suggestion is just sit out. We just have 2 days left, today, which is the monthly expiry, and tomorrow, of course, which is the beginning of June's expiry, but the end of May cash. Be very, very light on long positions. Do absolutely nothing. Just wait for the market to come up with a specific trend. And of course, Sakshi, a couple of points that I'd like to mention is that with record high markets, there are dozens and dozens of promoters who have sold stock, and 3 block deals are lined up today. General Electric Partners in RR Kabel cable maker is selling a 5% stake. The entire deal that it had, that's valued at about 1,000 crores. The back-end mutual funds company K Fintech has a block deal of about 833 crores, and of course a block of IRB Infra is also in place. So record highs are also prompting dozens of promoters to at least book some gains that are there in the market. Earnings, as you mentioned, we'll have Apollo Hospitals and Muthoot Finance from the Nifty and the F&O space respectively, and a very, very strong set of earnings has come in from Cummins India. It's a blowout performance. Revenue is up 20%, profit is up 76% for the fourth quarter, and the margin expansion is phenomenal. We'll also be paying attention to GMR Infra. We generally don't talk about this counter, but extremely good commentary, very nice numbers, and a sharp fall in profit for the fourth quarter. This is something to be looked forward to. And Sakshi, the most important thing that has happened is the upgrade of global ratings agency S&P of India's sovereign debt outlook to positive. I cannot even begin to emphasize on the importance of this event for the continuation of this very long-term bull market that we are seeing, and the fact that S&P now says that over the next 2 years there is a chance of India's sovereign debt rating to be raised as well, thanks to improvement in spending, emphasis on infrastructure, and better fiscal policies. Sakshi.
All right, let's look at what the global market cues have been suggesting to us. US markets ended in the red with the Dow Jones down 1%, the Nasdaq slipping 0.6% in the trade, and S&P 500 down 0.7%. This is following a spike in the US Treasury yields. Remember, the 5-year Treasury yield jumped to a 4-week high after a government debt auction failed, reflecting worries that the Federal Reserve may keep rates higher for longer as well. So nervousness across the Wall Street overnight. Following this, markets in the Asia Pacific region were also in the sea of red this morning. We saw Japan's Nikkei tumble over 2% in the early trading action as well. Right now, it's down by about 1.7 odd percent. Kospi is down by 0.7%. The Hang Seng and the Shanghai, however, are looking slightly positive above the flat line as well. The Gift Nifty is indicating, however, a weaker start for the Nifty, down about 0.35%, reflecting a downtick of another 80 points from the current 22,704 levels that we saw at yesterday's close. As far as the flows are concerned, remember the foreign investors sold stocks worth about 5,841 odd crore rupees, and the domestic institutional investors stayed net buyers for the 7th straight session. They mopped up equities worth about 5,233 odd crore rupees as well. Let's look at the key earnings then, post the market hours that we saw yesterday. Tata Steel Q4 FY24 consolidated YOY numbers show that the revenue was down almost 7% at 58,687 odd crore rupees. EBITDA declined by 8.6% at 6,601 crores. Margins were at 11.2% versus 11.5%, and the net profit also fell by 64.6% at 555 odd crore rupees. The board has recommended a dividend of 3.5 rupees per share as well. and there would be NCD's issue of up to 3,000 odd crore rupees via private placement basis. We'll continue to keep an eye out on Tata Steel. SJVN for consolidated YOY numbers for Q4 show that revenue slipped by about 4% at 483 crores. EBITDA came in lower at 240 crores versus 309 crores. Margins, however, came in at 49.6%. This is against 61.3% that the company had reported earlier. However, the net profit has come in at 61 crores versus 17 crores. So that's the loan uptick that you see in the major metrics that we are tracking. Hindustan Oil Exploration or HOEC on a consolidated sequential basis has shown a revenue uptick of nearly 81% odd at 330 odd crore rupees. EBITDA improved by 26.8% at 117 crores. Margins came in at 35.5%. This is decline from the 50.79% the company had recorded in the last quarter. Net profit came in at 70.6 odd crore rupees, a substantial uptick from 4.8 crore rupees reported earlier as well. Ahluwalia Contracts reported a consolidated year-on-year number for Q4. As far as the revenue is concerned, an improvement of 35%. EBITDA, however, came down by 5.4%, whereas the margins also declined to 9% from 12.8%, and the net profit came in at 200 crores versus 72 crores. So that was a big uptick for Ahluwalia Contracts. Websol Energy System for Q4, FY24 and YOY numbers show that revenue came in at 24.8 crores versus 0.1 crores. So the revenue increased, but there's an operational loss at 3 odd crore rupees. This has widened from 1.5 crores, and the net loss has also widened at 58.5 odd crore rupees. Lemon Tree Hotels came out with its numbers too. Revenue improved by 29.5% at 327 crores. EBITDA was up by 22.6%, and the margins also came in at 52.4% versus 55.4%, so slight decline there. The net profit, however, improved 42.3% at 84 odd crore rupees for the company. Now, the company says the divergence on the PAT level is due to a tax write-back of 137 million rupees right there. Dredging Corporation came out with its earnings on a consolidated YOY numbers. Revenue came in at 278 crores. This is a decline from 337 crores. EBITDA came in at 22 crores, a sharp decline from 167 odd crore rupees. Margins came in at 10%, and the net loss has come in at 23 crores. But this is in fact an improvement from the loss of 223 odd crore rupees the company had recorded in the year ago quarter. Bata came out with the numbers. Revenue uptick of 2.5%, EBITDA up by 0.1%, and the margins came in at lower, about 53 basis points lower at 22.8 odd percent as well. Now, GR also came out with its earnings. Revenue down 12% in this quarter on a year-on-year basis. EBITDA was up, however, 37% at 399 crores, and the margins improved to 17.7%, and the net profit was also up by 43 odd percent as well. So these are some of the key numbers that I'm watching out for. Let's welcome our guest on the show. Vineet Bulinchkar now joins in, Head of Research at Ventura Securities. Warm welcome to you, Vineet. Thank you so much for taking the time out. Well, of course, nervousness creeping in further as we inch closer to the big day, Saturday, when the exit polls will come in. And then, of course, following that, the final results will come in on June 4th as well. There are indications that we can also slip below 22,700 now in the markets. What are you advising clients to do over the next 2 or 3 sessions?
So, if you are a daredevil, then the best way to play this market is to buy into the expiry of this May series, because and if you take a calibrated bet, as I told you last time, is to take a small bet in the cash market, not in the FNO market, of 2 to 5% of your portfolio, and play this out, because all our indications are telling us that there's a very high probability that the present incumbent will be coming back. So if we keep that in mind, and if you were to buy today and just hold on to your positions till Tuesday, you will get a very, very decent upside, because the volatility will start from Saturday when the exit polls will be announced. Sans that, I think current investors can hedge their positions in the markets by buying small quantities of Nifty puts, and where the premium value is about 1 to 2% of your portfolio, so that you get a reasonable hedge on your portfolio, just for that outside chance that things don't work out as we have been saying. So because we have seen even the incumbent changes, the policies change, and as we have seen, the policies of the Indie Alliance, their manifesto and their representation in the states of Punjab and Karnataka have been very, very populist. Markets don't like populist measures which are going to impact your macro. And we have seen there the macro of the states getting severely impacted. So I believe that for that outside chance, you need to protect yourself. And the best way to do it is to buy puts on the Nifty. And that's the way to play this out over the next 3-4 days.
Okay, good morning to you, Vineet. That's a very well taken advice. The only problem with the Nifty puts at the moment is that the IVs are so high that put prices have increased dramatically, also aided by this 400-point drop in the Nifty. Nevertheless, it's a sensible strategy that you make that have a hedge on the portfolio. My concern is the other part of your statement, which is the continuation of the present incumbent. Not exactly a concern, it's a welcome relief. My point is, if the incumbent continues with a margin which is well accepted and well reflected in stock prices, what are the one or two stocks that you are looking to add in the current downtick that you see in the market?
See, I think there are some trades in this market which can be taken irrespective of the market trend. So, to see the market, let's look at it this way. The market, the stock, it's a market of stocks. And we have to focus on stocks which are going to go up with a high degree of probability, right? So I believe that the FMCG pack as well as the pharma pack offer very, very strong place. The third pack is to also buy export names. So, in case you have the present incumbent coming off, three things are going to happen. One is policies are going to be choked on in terms of, not choked, policies would be rolled back of the previous government, and the new government would initiate its own policies. That would create a lot of uncertainty in the markets, and the favorite themes of the markets, which are your PSUs, defense, public sector banks, all those could see sharp reversals, at least temporarily. Second is, the rupee will also come under pressure. Third thing, what is going to happen is that with the rupee coming down, pharma is going to look attractive. Already, there are reports which say that US is facing a sharp dearth of generics in some 233 products. So that is offering you a good upside potential and for exports. Third is already the players who have started exporting as China exodus policy are well positioned to benefit from this. So I think pharma, manufacturing with a thrust on exports, and your these FMCG plays, they look very, very sound investment products to buy, sans this volatility.
Okay. The other question that I have is on this wonderful macro news that greeted us late evening yesterday, and for newspaper readers today morning. The outlook upgrade by S&P on the Indian sovereign debt to positive. How do you think that aids the long-term bull market which is unfolding in front of us?
So there are a couple of things with this upgrade. There is going to be new indices which are formed in the US, the JP Morgan backed index for debt. That will make Indian debt look very, very attractive, and we will see a lot of fund flow coming in, which will be very positive for your infrastructure development. And with this kind of policy change that is happening, we are going to see the market accept this, and infrastructure projects should get a very, very strong fillip. But I would want to play these themes only after clarity on the results.
Okay, got that. Let's come down to some specific stocks then Vineet, and ask you on the earnings and beyond that what the brokerage houses are saying. I remember having discussed the auto ancillary maker Samvardhan Motherson with you in the past when we were discussing this entire theme. Earnings came in, strong performance on various parameters, but there are divergent views on the brokerage houses front. Morgan Stanley has given an overweight rating, a target price which they have raised to 176. They believe the EBITDA was sharply higher than estimates as well, but CLSA has given a downgrade. It's now reduced the target price to 130. Citi has given a sell with a target price of 85 rupees as well. Both believing that valuations are expensive and there could be a likely slowdown in the European auto industry that could be something negative for the company going forward. How are you looking at Samvardhan?
So, I think it's a mixed bag out there because the performance is good, but the outlook is weak. And given that kind of trend, I tend to go with Samvardhan because, they have this uncanny knack of buying out companies, turning them around and profiteering and making a lot of money. Now, these target entities which are sick, which they buy out, are actually pointed to them by the manufacturers themselves to whom they are vendors. And these manufacturing incumbents are, very, very positive and have tremendous confidence that, Samvardhan can turn these around. So when these turnarounds happen, these companies are likely to support Samvardhan, even in good as well as bad times, because, you become their endeared entity, a vendor for them. So given all these facts, I think Samvardhan definitely looks good. Uh, I think the numbers were exceptional on all parameters, and I think the momentum can continue for a couple of quarters. However, one should just be wary of any kind of negativity that happens in the European markets. Already, we are seeing, Rishi Sunak calling the elections early, and that is slightly negative trend. So when you go into Samvardhan, don't buy fresh, hold on to your positions if you have, and take profits around the 160, 170 levels.
Okay. And what about Cummins? What would you say on that one? Again, blowout earnings. Macquarie has given an outperform rating with a target price of 3,600. They believe this is a strong end to FY24. Strong domestic business growth. Exports, however, continue to be soft, but margin expansion has been driven by lower other expensive and GM expansion as well. What would you say on this one?
I think the margin expansion story will kind of pare down a bit, and I think much of the profitability is already there in the price. So my personal opinion on this stock would be, just to wait for lower levels before you buy into this.
Okay, let's look at some other numbers that have come in, Vineet. In particular, Tata Steel, a very, very strong operational show, which has been buffeted by one of exceptional items. What would you say about the domestic numbers that have come in, and of course the outlook on Tata Steel?
So we were looking at Tata Steel numbers 2-3 days back, and if you were to analyze them on various parameters, I think it is one of the cheapest commodity stocks that there is. And within the steel pack also, it comes in as a very cheap pack, very cheap valuations. Second thing is, the drag on this stock has been the international, performance, which is UK and Netherlands. They are just dragging, and there is no end to the plight of the company on those. Sans that, I think the domestic performance is very, very good, and one can buy into this stock, but you have to be a little careful that the losses on these international ventures do not get very, very further deteriorate, because that would drag the stock down. And in a market which is very wealthy healthy, Tata Steel provides you a lot of cushion in terms of valuations.
Okay, and there has been this continuous disappointment now spanning about 8 quarters on Bata. Operational numbers are not looking good. Their strategy on how should I say, upping the brand in terms of the footwear they are producing is not paying off. The stock has done absolutely nothing for the last 2.5 years. Is this a value buy at current levels, or are more disappointments in store as far as Bata is concerned?
So, things can't get more worse for Bata from here. We've seen the drag play out over 8 years. And just like we are seeing the FMCG story coming back, with rural demand picking up, I think bottom fishing here, sipping into the stock at current levels looks very, very interesting, because if the turnaround happens, as we have seen it happening in some of the FMCG names, and Bata is a very, very strong, has a very, very strong market share in India, I think things can turn around and this could really, really do well.
Okay, got that. Apart from this, I also wanted to take your view on SJVN. Vineet, if you could quickly tell us, after the earnings, how are you positioned on this one? We've seen the entire renewable energy space perform very well. Earnings, however, were slightly mixed when we talk about SJVN. Revenue was down, net profit, however, improved substantially over there. But again, the EBITDA is improved, but the margins are somewhat similar, or have declined from 50% to 35% odd. So there is a mixed bag right there.
Yeah. So I believe that, you must play this as a long-term play. Mainly, you have to focus on the build out of capacity, because, when you get exceptional performance, all the negativity that you have spoken about gets eroded, and that gets completely adjusted into the price. So that is the way to play this stock.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we'll now focus on the pre-open trades. It's a very disconcerting Nifty number. We'll just put it on the screen for you. Minus 157. In fact, it was minus 200 in the initial early seconds, but extremely volatile. We'll just show that to you on the screen. There's no point discussing this kind of a downtick or even mentioning the names. Let's look at the top gainers, ladies and gentlemen. Cummins India, fabulous set of numbers. This is one outperformer that's blown out the entire capital goods space, as also a very strong play on the data center business in India, up 10%. Needless to say, this is a record high. GMR Airports 3% higher, 89.90. Again, a fabulous set of numbers. Let's look at NSE 500 and the stocks that are creating a lot of upticks. Paytm, again a 5% maximum circuit, up 377 for you. Remember, there is news denied by both Adani's and Paytm of an eventual buyout of Paytm by Adani's. Nevertheless, it's had a salutary impact on the stock. Was up 5% yesterday, limit up today as well. What also is moving up is Lemon Tree, post fourth quarter, 3.39% higher, 143. Apart from that, I see a decent uptick in Suzlon Energy, 1.9% higher, 47. Let's look at the top gainers within the Nifty 50. Okay, ONGC. Remember, there's an uptick on crude oil prices, 1.1% higher, 275. There's a major OPEC plus meeting on Saturday to continue the present production cuts. That could be an improvement on ONGC's profile. Bharti Airtel, ladies and gentlemen, we need to mark this stock. The market capitalization of Bharti Airtel has crossed $100 billion, and that's a very, very big plus for a first generation company that started somewhere in 1998, 1999. Keep an eye out on that. There's no stopping Hero Motors, 0.5% higher, 51.68. And earnings boy today, Apollo Hospitals, is about 1% higher at 49.59. Let me just mark the Nifty now, down 124 at about 22,580. Remember, this is a higher gap down than what the gift Nifty suggested, and it is not looking good. Extremely volatile. Let's look at stocks that are contributing to this fall. HDFC Bank, the highest weighted counter, 27 rupees lower, 1481. What is Reliance doing? 1840 lower at 2863. And how about Infosys? Almost 6 rupees lower at 1445. Remember, HDFC Bank and Infosys are below 200 DMA. Now what else is blinking in the red? ICICI Bank, 15 rupees lower, 1088. How about Lever and ITC? Now this is an interesting trend, Sakshi, which we've been tracking for the last 1 week or so. Lever is mildly up, 2374. ITC mildly down. The FMCG space is looking good, and of course Tata Motors in the green, 943. The lone index heavyweight among the top 10, which is showing a green tick. Sakshi, what are you watching?
It was Cummins that first showed a 10% uptick in the pre-open, but then now has settled somewhere about 2% higher in the pre-open. So we'll look at that too. Apart from this, of course, Lemon Tree Hotels is the one that is moving up almost 4% higher after those earnings in trade. Let's also pull up a few other stocks. GMR Airports Infra, 2.3% higher after those earnings have come in. Margins have improved as well, so that is showing up in the numbers for GMR Airports Infra. Apart from this, Hero Motocorp is reacting to the associate company Hero FinCorp's upcoming IPO of 4,000 odd crore rupees, a percent higher for that one too in trade. So those are some of the stocks. Aadhar Housing Finance has seen a strong growth in FY24, so you do see an uptick on that one too. Forging's post earnings is slightly down about 0.6% odd or so. There are some other business restrictions that have been imposed on Edelweiss Financial. So let's look at that one. I think there is a sharp downtick indication of almost 20% on this stock as well. So we'll continue to watch out for this space because the RBI restrictions continue on the NBFCs. It was IFL first and several other companies. Then Paytm, of course, was one of them, and now it's Edelweiss Financial. We'll continue to look at how this plays out. Anything else, Vineet, that you have pointed out or looked at? I think we also have Kunal with us. So let's welcome Kunal. He may be tracking the pre-opening trades much more closely. So welcome Kunal to you. Thank you so much for taking the time out. Viewers, Kunal Parwar is the Vice President of Technical Research at Choice Equity Broking. What has looked positive to you within the pre-opening rates?
Well, at this level, two stocks are there from my side, which looks very positive to me. First is car trade. In yesterday's trading session, we saw very good upside momentum with the help of its 100 MA on Ali chart, and volume was above average. So I'm looking very good upside momentum in upcoming trading sessions. So one can go for long in car trade at 884. If you talk about SL side, then 855 would be the SL target. Target would be at 906 and 942. And second is Arvind. Arvind, if you talk about an stock has been trading in an upward rising channel formation, higher top, higher bottom formation is there. If you talk about 50 mm, stock is trading above this mm since last many days. So positive momentum that I'm seeing in Arvind right now. 377 was its studies closing. So one can go for long in the Arvind with SL of 360. Target would be 390 and second target would be at 412.
Okay, I'd like to mark a company, Edelweiss Finance, down 15%, and this is not looking good. This is over RBI supervisory restrictions on Edelweiss's asset reconstruction company, barring the ARC to buy new damaged assets in the market. So that's the top loser, ladies and gentlemen. Down 12 rupees at 65 as far as prices are concerned. Let me mark some more. Disappointing earnings from Schneider has led to a continuous 5% downtick. Now the counter is at 709. SGVN reacting to poor numbers, 4% lower, 133. and K Fintech. Remember, this is the block deal boy today. 833 crores worth of transactions likely to happen, down about 1.7% at 7:30. We'll also look at RR Kabel. General Electing Partners is likely to sell its entire 5 percentage point stake in this one. The counter has moved 2.5% higher at 1770. Remember, just day before yesterday, the company had come up with a stunning set of numbers. Coming to you, Vineet, on this very strong trend of promoters, private equity players, large PMSs partially exiting or booking profit in MNCs, in large Indian corporates and mid caps. Do you think they are taking advantage of these record highs and maybe are smarter than us?
I think they are shoring up their own profitability in their weak economies. So that explains some part of the selling, and also they believe that somewhere valuations may be very very high, and because of which they are selling.
Fair point. I'll also like to mark IRB Infra. This is amongst the 3 block deals which are slated today, down 8.5% at 66.5 as far as the initial pre-open trades are concerned. Nifty settled in sync with what the GIFT Nifty was telling, 87 points lower, 22,617. Coming to Kunal on how the Nifty stocks are positioned. Kunal, the weakest Nifty stock that you can name?
Right now, the way all the stock has been trading, and weak stock that right now I'm seeing, it's from IT itself. And from my side, one can look at Wipro. No doubt, Wipro has given a good upside momentum, but overall, if you talk about sector-wise momentum, then IT has been like underperforming its benchmark overall market. And right now, Wipro is trading below its 200 days moving average, and it has been trading in a sideways momentum. And today, the way pre-opening is showing its tick, I think Wipro is going to give its downside breakout as well. So Wipro is there, 449 is the pre-opening tick. One can go for short in Wipro for a target of 437 with the SL of somewhere around 455.
Okay, got that. One share which we have never discussed is Avantel. The stock has sharply surged 9% higher. This is after the company has got a defense ministry order of 110 crores for SATCOM equipment, and therefore there is a sharp uptick on this one. It's a small cap company again, but are you looking at this one, Kunal? Do you track this stock at all?
Sorry, which stock you said?
So this is Avantel Limited. If you can check this, this is trading at 125 levels in the pre-opening trade.
Sorry, I can't fetch the counter right now.
Okay, no worries. We'll ask maybe Vineet if he can if he can tell us maybe. Oh, Vineet has left. Okay, we'll try and get back to him then. In the meanwhile, let's again look at some of the other buzzers. So again, the life insurance space seems to be buzzing again. I can see SBI Life moving higher in trade after a day's gap again. Kunal, what have you made of the recent momentum in say LIC, SBI Life, HDFC Life and the likes within the insurance space? Is there a momentum that you'd like to chase here?
Well, if we talk about HDFC Life, then I'm seeing a sideways momentum only in HDFC Life. Sorry, in SBI Life, I'm seeing sideways momentum only in SBI Life. Even if you talk about HDFC Life, then right now stock is showing some weakness somewhere around 1.6 percentage, and it may fall further up to the level of 538. But few stocks are there which you mentioned. LIC. Okay, recently LIC has given a breakout of its recent top. No doubt, right now it is trading at 996, and since last 2 days, stock has been showing some downside momentum only. But strong support comes in LIC at somewhere around 966. So any fall up to the level of 966, 970 would become a good buying opportunity for the counter. So one can go for long, not at present level in all the stocks, but let some fall comes in the counters, particularly in LIC. If 970 would be there, then it would be a good buying opportunity for LIC.
Okay, got that. And I think the deal has been
Okay.
done, what Shail
Ladies and
has been
gentlemen,
pointing
let's
out
look
on
at a
RR
couple
Cabel.
of other prices. Yes, Sakshi. Just a couple of prices I wanted to mark out. Remember, in all the negativity that we've seen yesterday, the defense counters actually remained in the green. In fact, they added to their strength. Even today, although gains are modest, still Bharat Dynamics is up a percent, 1555. Cochin is 0.5% higher, 2027. Masgaon is in the green. BEL, BEML, HAL, all of them are in the green. Only Midhani, which is the specialist metal maker, is down 3.7% at 430. That's because of the modest fourth quarter numbers that have come in. As far as rail is concerned, there is a modest uptick on Timken, on JWL, and on Tex Rail, nothing much. How about profit booking? That's more important to be watched. Okay. Kernex is opening 5% lower, 403, and there's mild profit booking in all the railway stocks from the government. IRCON, Railtel, IRCTC, RVNL, and of course, RITES. How about PSUs? Sakshi, there's pain in Dredging Corp. Okay, the markets have opened, ladies and gentlemen. It's a 42 point downtick on Nifty. Remember, today is the final expiry of the month of May, 22,660. The Nifty Bank is in the green, 20 points higher. Nifty 500, the most important index for the broader market, is down 34 points, and a 0.5% downtick on the Nifty IT index. Let's look at the heavyweights. HDFC Bank 6 rupees 50 lower, 1501. Pain point continues. Reliance 4 rupees 75 lower at 2878. How about Infosys? Infosys is down 3 rupees 70 at 1447. So all three index heavyweights, super index heavyweights, are down. What is on the green as far as index heavyweights are concerned? Good. SBI, Kotak, and ICICI Bank are up more than 0.5% each. There is a green tick on Tata Motors, and also in the green. These are good developments. How about the FNO space? Let's look at the earnings, boys. Okay, disappointment on Tata Steel, 2.2% lower, 170.4. Bata India is in the red for 1.5% lower at 1353. Let's look at the NSE 500 in terms of gainers. Okay, Paytm 5% higher, 377. This is the limit up that it can rise. KNR Construction, earnings boy 5% higher, 294. RR Cabel, this is a block deal about to happen, 3.5% higher, 1788. Earnings boy GMR Airports flat, 8670. Lemon Tree earnings 4.7% higher, 145.15. Samvardhana 2.5% lower, 144. Cummins India flat, 38.20. Let's get Kunal into the conversation. Kunal, what catches your fancy in early deals?
Well, the way right now stock has been trading, okay, and particularly if I talk about A group, few stocks are there, particularly which looks very attractive to me. First is Force Motor. Right now, Force Motor is trading at 8,452% up. And if you talk about Force Motor's chart, then I'm seeing further upside momentum from the present level. Yesterday, it made piercing candlesticks formation, which is like a bullish candlesticks formation. Not only yesterday, it took the support of its previous bottom, from after which stock moved up to the level of 10,242. So same replicate momentum we can CLG expect from this counter. So right now, stock is trading at 8,460. One can go for long. If you talk about the SL side, then SL would be at yesterday's lows. Yesterday's low it's 7940. Target would be 8850, and second target would be 9500. So if you talk about the second target, the second target comes at 12 to 13% of return. So definitely one should go for long with strict SL of 7940.
Okay, IRB Infra, there's a block deal that's taken place, about 5.2% stake over here at 65 rupees per share. 2033 odd crore rupees of deal has been done. Promoters have been, among those sellers as well. A 10% downtick on IRB Infra at 65.5. Kunal, how should one be really looking at the stock now?
Well, if you talk about IIF Infra, right now it is down by 9 to 10%, and the way stock has been trading, I am seeing further downside up to the level of 60. Now 60 is a strong support because uh, previously stock took the support of 60 and it went up to the level of 76. So same replicate momentum we can expect, but not today, but upcoming trading session. So let it fall up to the level of 60, and if it takes the support, it could become a good buying opportunity.
Could become a buying opportunity beyond if it falls below 60 odd levels as well. So we'll keep an eye out on this one. How would you trade Lemon Tree today? A 5% uptick after strong earnings have come in for the company. How would you really look at it?
Well, it's buy side from my side right now. Stock is trading at 146. Okay, and the stock has given an intraday gap opening, and downside support comes at 137. Okay, so 137 is a good support because stock previously also took the support of the same, and after taking the support, it went up to the level of 150, 151. So definitely, it's a buy side from my side. 145 right now. It is LTP, and sub SL would be 137. Target 153 first target, and second target would be at 164. So again, 12 to 13% of momentum that we can expect from the counter.
Okay, I can clearly see it could be banks that could be in the front row again today. PSU banks almost 1% higher, the top moving sectoral index today. Following this, the Nifty bank is up 0.6% odd, private banks about 0.6% again. Financial services also half odd percent higher, and beyond that it is the oil and gas space that's been moving strong as well. Let's check India Wicks. Not too much of a trouble right now, 0.3% higher at around 24.2, but we'll have to continue to keep an eye out on this one as well. But PSU banks, where exactly are you keeping an eye out on, Kunal? Is it again the large caps and the front runners, SBI, PNB and the likes, or would you go for the second rung ones? Where do you see momentum building on from here?
Well, if we talk about PSU, then right now, we are seeing good upside momentum in all the counters. If we talk about mid cap, small cap, or large cap, Indian Bank, SBI, PNB, Can Bank, and definitely I'll go with right now Can Bank. The way stock has been trading since last many days. Okay, right now it is trading at somewhere around 11730, and from my side's buy recommendation only, one can go for it present buy side 117. If we talk about the SL side, then SL comes at 110. Target will be 123 first target, and if stock breaks this 123, which is like its immediate top, we may see an upside movement up to the level of 131 as well. So again, 11 to 12% of momentum we can expect from the counter. So please keep SL at 110 because volatility will be there during upcoming trading session.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, within the Nifty, there is a very, very strong bout of short covering that is happening, and that's because we are on the final settlement day as far as the monthly expiry is concerned. There is little of long build up, but intense amount of shorts have been covered on the index itself. The low was 22,620, and we have just briefly touched 22,700. Whether it is a dead cat bounce like we saw yesterday, or there is this ability of the Nifty to surprise us on the last day of May, only time will tell. But strong buying perhaps happening in very strong stories like Indigo. I'll request Kunal to take a look on this one. Indigo at the moment is trading 1.2% higher, Sakshi. This is the top gaining stock in the entire F&O space after a 4-day loss. Your views on this one, Kunal? The numbers were fantastic.
Well, thanks to you, sir, because actually I was about to give this stock days of losing streaks today. It seems that stock is taking the support of its 200 MA on hourly chart. Not only this, stock also took the support of its previous bottom, which was placed at 4,000, and right now it is trading at 4137. So it's a perfect buy candidate from my side. One can go for long at the present level. Right now, LTP is 4137. If we talk about SL side, then 4,000 would be the perfect SL. Target, the first target is 4240. 4240 is the first target, which is its previous top. And if stocks breaks this top, then we will see an upside movement up to the level of 4411, which is like 6 to 7% of upside momentum we can expect from the present level. So one can go for long with SL of 4,000.
Okay, I think Sakshi will also pay attention to the most active counters. Two we've already mentioned. IRB Infra after the block deal, 9% lower, 65.9. Already 13.25 crore shares have been traded, which is about 811 crore rupees. K Fintech, this is a block deal worth 800 crores that's happened, 4.5% lower at 708. And remember Masgaon. This one needs to be discussed. The numbers came in just in the dying moments of trade yesterday. The counter was up 10%. It's again added 2% to its tally. Needless to say, this is a record high, 34.26. Cochin is in the green, and I am just looking at HAL and BDL. So our Panch Pandav are again doing good in the market. Kunal, your top pick amongst defense players. Now it's more or less certain that these overstretched charts really don't matter. People are just interested in picking up deliveries. Which would be your favorite among defense counters?
Well, Selji, even last time we talk about this defense counters, and at that time we said that we can expect 10 to 12% further from the present level, and afterwards we saw very good upside momentum in these counters again. But if you are asking me for today's trading session and upcoming trading session at present level, what counters would perform very well, then it's a BEL. Right now it is trading at 294, and strong support comes at 285 levels. So from my side, for for trading perspective and 1 to 2 trading session, one can go for long in BEL at 294. If you talk about SL side, 285 would be the perfect SL target. 301 first target, which we can see in today's trading itself. Second target is 312.
Okay, got that. Well, Kunal, the one space that has underperformed is FMCG, but there's one counter that's going very strong today, and that is Imami. Now the stock is about 11.5% higher. Remember, the company came out with its earnings. And beyond that, we've actually seen both profitability and revenue improve, and the stock is now trading at near a 52-week high level. It did hit that level of 588 in trade today. How would you really look at Imami now?
It was a buy recommendation from my side during our last conversation on 22nd May. We gave a target of 548 and 569. Right now it is trading at 589. So our both target achieved. And if I talk about further momentum, then definitely right now stock is showing a good strength, and it is about to give a breakout of its 589, 590 level. Let's say if stock gives a breakout of these levels, then we can expect somewhere around 670 to 700 of levels. So if anyone has these stocks in his portfolio, please hold the stocks. I'm not recommended to go for fresh buy, but if it's in portfolio, please maintain this stock in your portfolio. We can expect a very upside move. We can expect a very good upside movement in the counter up to the level of 670 to 700.
Okay, got that. So that's a strong conviction coming in as far as Imami is concerned. And kudos to you, Kunal, for sharing that for our viewers earlier, and your targets having met. And now you have higher targets for this one also coming in. What else within the FMCG pack really looks positive to you now, with apart from Imami?
Well, right now, if we talk about FMCG and the way other counters right now are trading, one stock is there which right now which looks good to me, And from FMCG, Dabur is there right now. It is trading at 550, 556. So the way stock has been trading, I'm seeing a good upside momentum, but it may take time. I'm again repeating my words. It may take time to reach its target, but it's a defensive stock, so one can go for long in Dabur at 555 level. If you talk about SL side, then SL would comes at somewhere around 532. And if you talk about target side, then 573 would be the first target. And if stocks break this 573, we can see somewhere around 601 momentum.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's take a detour into the broader markets. So far, the uptick from 22,700 has not taken place in the Nifty. It slipped back, now 22,635 for you. And the advanced decline again is now in favor of the bears, and it's rising dramatically. So far, you see about 1000, almost 1100 declines versus 987 advances. So the bears have an upper hand, but for a couple of stocks on the long side that we have discussed. Again, there is absolutely no necessity to participate in this kind of a market. It's extremely volatile and jittery. Look at the India VIX. It has again shot up, and now it is at 24.37. This is up 0.19, but that's actually a change of about 2 odd percent. Please keep this in mind, days high, and it is increasing volatility on not only the Nifty but also a lot of Nifty stocks. Now let's look at bottom fishing. Inox Wind, remember, this was down for successive 10% circuits 2 days because of the block deal that had happened. Now there is some sense coming back into the stock at 145.6. On purpose, I am not taking any view whether to buy or sell. This is an extremely volatile market. I'm just marking prices. And the other stock that I'd like to mark is Bata India. Vineet just spoke about it, and one of those counters that has been a big drag in terms of fundamental performance, but it's a coagulation of a lot of moving averages from 9, 21, 34, 54, 89, 100 and 50 averages that have come together to give a boost to this stock after a very dismal performance. Sakshi, at the moment it doesn't look good to me. There is red all around as far as prices are concerned, but even in this kind of a negativity, there are stocks that have hit all-time highs, and let me mark them. Uno Minda, this is a stock we've discussed many times from the auto ancillary space, from Gorang to Vineet to Mayuresh. All of them have pointed to the strength of this one. Record high, 4% higher, 899. From the capital goods space, Grindwell Norton, 3% higher, 2668. Mazgaon we've discussed many times. From the railway pack, there is a lot of activity on the green side. Sakshi's and Business Today's favorites, Jupiter Wagons, Titagarh, both of them in the green and at record highs, and of course Polymed, Cummins and EID Parry. These are the stocks at record highs. Sakshi.
Okay. Well, it's banks all the way. Axis is now at the top of the Nifty movers, 1.5% higher. You have SBI, ICICI Bank, Kotak, IndusInd Bank, HDFC Bank. Private sector banks are really taking that lead. Would you chase the momentum on any one? And does any private sector bank give you the confidence of accumulating at the current levels, Kunal?
Well, if we talk about private sectors, then I would bet on particularly ICICI Bank, the way stock has been trading. And not only this, if we talk about today's open high, then open high is at same level, Okay, and if you talk about volume, then we are seeing a good upside. We are seeing good volume in the counter itself in the early session. So it's a buy recommendation from my side. Okay, right now it is trading at 1113. Okay, so one can go for long at 1113 only. If we talk about SL side, then SL comes at 1090. The target would be at 1130 first target, and if we talk about second target, then 1160 would be the second target, and we can see our first target during today's trading session itself.
Okay, got that. Let's again look at some of the other big movers within the broader markets. Heritage Foods is something that's moved up 7% higher. Remember, the company came out with its earnings, and on all the fronts it reported positive numbers, especially on the bottom line, where its net profit had doubled to 40 odd crore rupees from 18 odd crore rupees. How would you really look at Heritage Foods if at all you track this counter, Kunal?
Well, right now stock is trading by 8% upside momentum at 401. Now, I am not recommending to go for long at present level because risk reward is not proper for fresh buy recommendation. But anyone has the stocks in their portfolio, I must say, please hold the stock because we can see upside movement up to the level of 442. Okay, and if stock breaks this 442, then we can see further upside movement up to the level of 480 as well. So 20% is from the present level. We can expect this momentum from this counter.
Okay. Well, got that as well. Right now, there are just about 10 movers on the positive side when we talk about the Nifty movers, and beyond the banks, there's also some momentum that's coming in on the Adani Group stocks, especially the flagship company, Adani Enterprises moving up, and slight gains coming from the auto basket. And within that, it's Tata Motors and Bajaj Auto, Hero Moto. These are the ones that are moving up. What about the auto frontline OEMs? How are you looking at these stocks, Kunal?
Well, if you talk about auto stocks, we have already seen good upside momentum in auto stocks. But if you talk about fresh buying recommendation, then I would say please wait and watch because risk reward is not proper. If you talk about Tata Motors, if you talk about M&M, Ashok Leyland, Hero Moto, so if you have these stocks in your portfolio, please hold these stocks because we can see further upside momentum from the present level, somewhere around 6 to 7% from the present level. So hold your stocks rather to go for fresh buy.
Okay, I think we need to report the two opposing trends that are happening in the main indices. The Nifty Bank, because it has started a fresh June expiry, is up 350 points, 48,846, driven very sharply by stocks such as Axis Bank as also ICICI Bank. They are doing pretty well. If you look at State Bank of India, it's up almost 1%, 830. Axis Bank is up 1.1%. There are very decent long build-ups happening on these two private sector corporate lenders, ICICI and Axis, as also India's largest public sector bank, State Bank of India. Keep this in mind. Remember, yesterday Bank Nifty's low of 48,300 was the test of the 20-day simple moving average, and that needs to be kept in mind when you look at how this bounce has happened. There is absolutely no let up on Nifty. Sakshi, it is testing its intraday low, and the selling is now led by TCS. There is a distinct selling pressure on how should I say, Hindustan Unilever, down about 0.5%. Bajaj Finance is down 1%. Bajaj Finserv is down 1%, and these I am talking about the index heavyweight 10 counters only. If you look at the Nifty advanced decline ratio, it's just 10 stocks in the green to 40 in the red, and amongst the top losers are Tata Steel, led by its earnings performance, although the operational quality was phenomenal, but still the top loser, 3.2% down, 168.55. And adding problems to JSW Steel is Tata Steel's numbers, 2% lower, 882. Power Grid, Nestle, Grasim are amongst the other losers on the index. across the board, I see this selling at the moment accelerating. The Nifty is testing 22,600, which is the second support level for the day. This is very, very critical. Let us see how it holds. Remember, we are only at 938, and the selling pressure on at least the main index is creating, how should I say, negativity. The overall advance decline, Sakshi, has worsened. Now we have 1300 shares in the red versus 855 in the green. Sakshi.
Okay, got that. Kunal, apart from this, let's discuss the oil and gas space as well. How are you really looking at this space? Anything that looks positive to you? There was a time when this space was completely in the thick of action, when the crude oil prices were still lower. Now that the prices are elevated, there is some weakness that's coming in across the board, be it the upstream or the downstream makers as well, or even the city gas distributors. But technically speaking, is there anything that still looks positive to you here?
Well, one stock is there which looks very good to me because stock has been trading in an upward rising channel formation, or one can say it's a high top high bottom formation only. Not only this, stock has been continuously taking support of its 50 mm. Stock's name is Oil India. Right now, it is trading at 640 level. And we talk about weekly chart. Already, we have seen breakout on weekly chart. So it's a buy recommendation from my side. Right now, stock is trading at 640 level, and we will keep SL at 610. Okay, so we'll go for buy at 640 level. We'll keep SL at 610. If we talk about target, then first target at 663, and second target comes at 700.
Okay, so that's as far as the oil and gas space is concerned, and recommendations on that front right now. The markets are absolutely not doing anything. It's the same 8-9 movers that are holding up as far as the Nifty is concerned. You now have the Nifty at trading at 22,607, and the India VIX is slowly and gradually elevated as well. About 24.4 odd levels is what we see right now here. Let's again look at the big contributors on both the sides as far as the Nifty is concerned. So it's Reliance Industries that's contributing to the downside today, about 15 odd points. ITC, Infosys, Tata Steel and TCS, also Bharti Airtel. These are the stocks that are contributing on the downside. But the banks, ICICI Bank, Axis, HDFC and Kotak SBI. These are the top 5 banks that are still holding up as far as the Nifty big moves are concerned. Let's look at the F&O space. Indigo is showing us some traction again, about 1.8% higher. You also have Jubilant Foodworks, that's up by 0.9% odd or so as well. Jubilant Foodworks, let me take this counter with you, Kunal. After the earnings, there has been a consistent momentum that's building on Jubilant Foodworks. Again, today it's trading near the high point of the day after about 20 minutes of trade has played out, 1.3% higher in the cash market as well. How are you looking at Jubilant Food?
Well, stock is looking very good to me right now. It is trading at 520 level, and if stock sustain above 521, okay, then we can expect further upside momentum in the counter up to the level of 538 and more above it 565. So let's wait and watch for the time being. If it sustain above 521, then only we will go for buy side.
Okay, got that. Within the mid cap and the small cap space, anything that looks positive to you, even though both the indices are trading lower in trade today, but anything that you'd like to add on the dips within the mid or the small cap stocks, Kunal, at this point?
Well, if we talk about Nifty mid cap and Nifty small cap, the way both the index right now, both the index right now are trading. One stock is there which looks very good right now. It's CG Power. Right now, CG Power is trading somewhere around 649. So if we talk about it's a daily chart, the way stock has been trading, the way stock has given its breakout, and right now 651, and even in intraday trading session, it has given a gap up opening only. So from my side, it's a buy recommendation in CG Power. One can go for long in CG Power at 651. If we talk about SL side, then SL comes somewhere around the 626. Target and first target comes at 670, and if stocks breaks this 670, then we can expect 701 upside momentum.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we'll focus a bit on the positives in the market. Look at Grindwell Norton, second day of gains, and at the moment it's buzzing about 5-7% higher. This is to be noted in the terms of the capital goods space that is doing phenomenally well. Also keep an eye out on two Adani stocks. One is Adani Power, which is reclaiming its mojo above 700 now. And one of the Adani laggards that has not done anything at all is Adani Wilmar. We'll draw the super long term chart of Adani Wilmar for you. Although the stock is up today, but it has been one of those counters that has not reclaimed its previous glory. Remember, the all time high for this stock was 900 rupees, and at the moment it's available at 352. It is showing some signs of life on the 3-month charts, the quarterly charts and the monthly charts, but keep this in your view. If you are a value investor, you should buy pain for your long term portfolio, and this one is looking good. Taking it away, Grindwell Norton, 77 crores worth of transactions happened, 6.5% higher, and of course a very strong move coming in on another Adani Group company called NDTV, 1.5% higher. Okay, let me just do this small exercise. We track 10 Adani stocks for you, ladies and gentlemen. Let me just see how many of them are in the green. Okay, there are just 4 in the red, which is Ambuja, Adani Ports, ACC and Adani Enterprises. Strong gains on Adani Power, 3.4% higher. Adani Wilmar, 2% higher. NDTV, 1.5% higher. This is what is happening at my end. Kunal, anything that catches your fancy? We've asked you so many stocks, but what are you looking at?
Well, definitely, Selji, I'm looking at EWL only because stock has given a breakout of its downward falling trend line. And not only this, even on momentum indicator front, stocks looks very positive to me. So right now it is trading at 350 level. One can go for long in at Fraser level only. If you talk about SL side, then SL comes at 335. Target would be at 362 first target, and if stocks break this 362, which is its previous top, we can see a good upside movement up to the level of 380 to 395. So CLG, we can expect somewhere around 9 to 13% of return from this AWL itself. So one can go for long with strict SL of 335.
Okay, got that. Okay, we have some more update coming in from the IPO space now, so let's look at that. Office Spaces IPO is going to be listed today. On the BSE, the stock has settled at 432 rupees. This is almost a 12% premium to its issue price of 383. So we'll continue to watch out for Office IPO as well. It will be listed today. Remember, a huge subscription had come in for Office. Over 100 times kind of a subscription had followed. So there was a strong demand, and looks like as far as the pre-opening prices are concerned, that we may be looking at a 13% premium listing for Office Spaces as well. We will also be focusing on the IPO space with our colleague Pawan, who will be joining us shortly to give us more details on what to expect on Hero FinCorp as well. But just a little while before he joins in on the show with us, let's quickly look at some of the other stocks that are moving up. Then in the meanwhile, we'll just mark out some prices for all our viewers. Apart from Jubilant Foodworks that we just discussed from the F&O space, Interglobe Aviation continues to surge about 2% higher. Piramal Enterprises is another one that's moving up about 1.5% up in trade. Apollo Tyres is another one. After some kind of consolidation, it was continuously moving up, but consolidated a bit. It's back up into the action again. Kunal, would you have a view on Apollo Tyres and on Indigo as well?
Well, first let's look at this Apollo tire. Right now, stock is trading at 474 level, and not only this, stock has a strong support of its upper rising trend line. And if you talk about moving average side, then also moving stock has a good support of moving average. So it's a clear cut buy recommendation from my side. Right now, stock is trading at 474 level. So definitely, it's a good level to get into the stock right now. 474. If we talk about the SL side, then SL comes at 460 level, target 485 first target, and if it breaks, then we can see upside movement up to the level of 502. Okay, now let's talk on Indigo side. The way stock has been trading since last many days, and today the stock gave a good upside momentum. So again, it's a buy recommendation from my side because stock took the support of its previous bottom. Not only this, on an early chart, stock has been trying to take the support of its 200 days moving average. So from my side, it's a buy recommendation again with the strict SL of 4,000. Okay, right now stock is trading at 4116, and if we put the 4,000 SL, then we can see target somewhere around 4200, and if it breaks, then 4348 would be the second target.
Okay, got that. So that's as far as some of these stocks are also concerned. Let's again look at some of the other momentum based stocks. Okay, now Punjab National Bank is also picking up pace apart from SBI within the PSU banking space as well. Let's look at the Nifty Bank now, 0.5% higher. And all the constituents, I believe, now are into the green when it comes to the Nifty Bank. Strong momentum being built across private and the PSU banking space stocks right now. And within that, now we are also within the PSU pack, especially apart from SBI, we are now looking at PNB, also looking at stocks like Indian Bank and Bank of India also showing us some momentum right there. On Indian Bank, would you have a view, Kunal? It's now up 2.5%, almost 3% higher in trade.
Well, right now among the PSU, the stock is showing good strength. Okay, right now it is trading at 591. Stock has already given a breakout of its 569 level on weekly chart, and it seems that from the present level we can expect a very good upside momentum because on weekly chart stock has given a breakout of a spinach formation, which is like continuation formation, and normally after giving a breakout of this kind of formation, stocks move somewhere around 12 to 13% of momentum. So we can expect the same momentum in the counter itself from Indian Bank. Right now it is trading at 591. Definitely, it's a buy recommendation from my side. If we talk about SL side, then SL comes at 550. No doubt, SL is a little bit bigger. It's a 6% of SL, but we can expect the target as well. 617 would be the first target, which is like its hidden resistance. If stocks breaks this 617, then we can expect 660 would be our second target, which is again 11 to 12% of the momentum that we can expect from the counter. So definitely, it's a buy recommendation from my side with a strict SL of 557.
Ladies and gentlemen, the situation in the market is getting towards bad. We are now at 9:51, and in the last 30 minutes, each 5-minute candle, which is 6 candles for the Nifty, have been in the red. The advanced decline is sharply deteriorating. Now 1382 negatives and just 772 stocks in the green. So it's 2:1 favoring bears. It's not looking good at all. The Nifty has breached 22,600. So the next support is 22,550. Let us see whether the bulls are able to hold that on out. Remember, this is the monthly expiry day as well, and people are also positioning themselves ahead of the exit poll numbers, which will come on Saturday, a market holiday. Market will react to it on Monday, which is June 3rd. Therefore, the most sensible strategy is not, ladies and gentlemen, to buy puts. It is to short the index, and that is exactly what we are seeing. So people who are creating hedges on their portfolio are doing so by selling Nifty futures, which is the most amongst the very few choices in the market, the most sensible one. Good, bad or ugly, I don't know. The result will be determined on Monday morning, but for the moment there is a very heavy how should I say, selling pressure on the market, and across the board you see a lot of shorts being built up. The Nifty Bank, which was in positive territory, strong positive territory in early morning, has faced resistance at 48,900, from which it has reversed and is now up just 250 points. It was earlier up 350 points. So selling pressure is accelerating. Let me just give you one critical number that you will appreciate. This is the NSE 500. It's also down 0.5%, and whenever we want to look at market sentiment, we talk about the advanced decline ratio of the NSE 500. It is 113 to 387, 1:3. So heavy selling pressure coming in. Let's look at the Nifty mid cap 100 index, 0.6% lower. The small cap 100 index is 0.8% lower, and more than 3/4, actually 86 stocks out of the small cap 100 index are in the red. 76 stocks in the mid cap 100 index are in the red. So selling pressure, profit booking, anxiety, nervousness and jittery trade is happening across the board. At the same time, India VIX is also up 24.28, up 0.1. In terms of percentage, India VIX is now 0.5% higher. Who are the gainers? Counters such as HUDCO, counters such as Imami, a bit of railway stocks, but nothing much happening there. Anything that catches your fancy, Kunal, before we wrap it up?
Well, right now, the way few stocks has been trading since morning, few stocks are there which looks very good from Group A. One stock is right now it's Adani Power. Right now, stock is trading 696. We already talk about CG Power, but again from this Adani counters, Adani Power looks very good to me. Recently, right now, starting at 698 level, stock has been sustaining above its hidden resistance, which was there at the 660 level. So we can see fresh upside momentum at the counter itself. So it's a buy recommendation from my side from present level. 698 right now stock is trading. One can go for long at 698. If you talk about SL side, then 674 would be our SL target side. Then first target comes as 716, and if stocks gives a breakout of this level, then we can see upside movement up to the level of 750 as well.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, time to wrap up. Kunal, as always, it was such a pleasure having you over, and the fantastic views that you shared on beaten down stock like Adani Wilmar, plus a high trending one such as Indigo, shows the control that you have on both sides of the technical equation. Thank you so much for your time, and I hope you have a very profitable trading day.
Thank you.
With that, ladies and gentlemen, we'll wrap up market today for now. We are leaving you with a 100-point downtick on the Nifty, 22,600. Let us see whether 22,600 holds for the bulls or not. But for the moment, it's looking a difficult ask. Markets are very choppy, very volatile, very jittery, very nervous, and extremely anxious. The best way to do is just do nothing, sit on the fence, wait for a trend to emerge, and then get into it. These are critically jittery times for the market ahead of the exit poll. The best that you can do for your portfolio is to be quiet and not act on such volatile days. Thank you so much for you watching us. Stay tuned to Business Today Television for the best that there is in financial news. Thank you.
Hi, you're watching Business Today Television. I'm Sakshi Batra. Well, this is the earnings focus edition. GIC Re is on our radar today. The company has posted a 3% uptick as far as its net profit is concerned. It came in at 2,642 odd crore rupees. Now, remember what we've also seen is that the company has collected a gross premium of 8,724 odd crore rupees. This is again an improvement from 7,370 crores a year ago. The company had reported. Standalone net premium has grown by 26.7% to 7,904 crores versus 6,234 odd crore rupees. Underwriting profit, however, has stood at 570 odd crore rupees against 892 odd crore rupees in the year ago period. Joining in to detail for us the earnings insights and the outlook is joining us the top management of the company, Mr. Ramaswamy Narayanan, the CMD of GIC Re is with us. Warm welcome to you, sir, on Business Today Television. Could you begin by telling all our viewers what contributed to your quarterly earnings this time around, and has it met your expectations versus the guidance that you had given for the entire fiscal year as well?
Yeah, good morning. As far as the Q4 is concerned, yes, we've done very well, and we've actually exceeded the guidance that we gave at the end of Q3. Because at the time of Q3, our combined for the 9 months was at around 118%, and we had hoped that we would be able to reduce that by about 4% going forward. And this because the Jan-Feb-March quarter is normally a good one for us, because there are no catastrophes either in India or across the world. So we normally do well in this quarter. So we hope to better our combined ratio by about 4 percentage points, but actually we have done it by about 6 percentage points, and our combined for this year stands at 111.8%. Now this is about 2.5% more than the previous year, but then we still take hope from the fact that this year there were 9 catastrophic events that hit India, and that actually added about 3,500 crores of losses to our books. In spite of that, the portfolio has performed very well. In fact, if these losses had not happened, our combined would have been closer to about 103-104%. So that augurs well. Our net profit is grown by about 3% for the year, and we are at a record 6,500 crore net profit levels for GIC. This is the first time we have reached these levels. All this augurs well for the company going forward.
Okay, got that, sir.